Welcome to More Than a Song, where you get a chance to experience great music in an intimate concert setting. You will also get a chance to go beyond the lyrics with the artist, to get the God experience revealed in their journey. Hi, I'm Denise Graves, and on today's show we will feature Billy Sprague. He's a talented artist with over 10 albums to his credit. He's written Via Dolorosa for Sandy Patty and Can You Reach My Friends for Debbie Boone. Joining Billy is his daughter and son singing Heaven is a Long Hello.
Jesus said to his dearest friends who were shaking their heads, tomorrow I will be gone, but believe what I say, I'll be back before long. Next day they carried him to a tomb, spent some lonely days locked in their rooms. Oh, I wish I could have been together with them to see the look on every face when the Lord said, hello, hello. Oh, I told you so. And now you'll know forever. Heaven is a long hello, hello. Oh, it's good to know we can go home forever. Heaven is a long hello. Farewell, adios, and all the goodbye words that hurt us the most, they will be obsolete. No more bon voyage, no arrivederci. There's no need for Auf Wiedersehen when there's nowhere to go to get back from again. And I look at you for an eon or two, or 3 or 4 or more, and say, hello, hello. I missed you so, but then we'll know forever and have ourselves a long hello, hello. Oh, it's good to know we can go home forever and ever. Oh, the time will come when time will pass, and we will have forever together. When at last I see your face, we'll spend an age embracing and saying hello, 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 hello. Heaven is a long hello, 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 long hello, hello, hello. Heaven is a long hello, 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 hello. Heaven is a long hello.
if I sing of mysteries that only angels see, but without love, I'm still just an empty melody. Lord, let me be an instrument in your great symphony. Spirit of the living God, come overwhelm my soul. Give me more of you than I can hold. By your touch, this broken cup of my heart is made whole. So pour yourself in me and overflow. Pour yourself in me and overflow. Come and fill me completely with your mercy, ocean deep. For all those thirsty souls needing your eternal spring. Every day, Lord, give me grace for another soul to drink. Spirit of the living God, come overwhelm my soul. Give me more of you than I can hold. Oh, by your touch, this broken cup of my heart is made whole. So pour yourself in me and overflow. Pour yourself in me and overflow. You are the stream in my desert. You are the river of all our hope. You are the well of living water. You are the overflow. You are the stream in my desert. You are the river of all our hope. You are the well of living water. You are the overflow. You are the overflow. Spirit of the living God, come overwhelm my soul. Give me more of you than I can hold. By your touch, this broken cup of my heart is made whole. So pour yourself in me and overflow. Pour yourself in me and overflow. Spirit of the living God, come overwhelm my soul.
Wow, can Billy's daughter Willow sing? Check out the first verse of the song Overflow. What if I sing of mysteries that only angels see? Without love, I'm still just an empty melody. That's a deep truth from his latest album entitled Songs in the Key of Awe. Recently, Terry Black sat down with Billy to explore the heartbeat of this songwriter.
Well, Billy, we are excited to talk to you about all of your experiences that you've had in writing music. Now, we just were talking that you think that you've written how many songs?
Probably over 2,000, I guess.
Wow, and you just started yesterday. No, I'm just kidding. Now, I remember you from the 80s. Would that be a good time
That's
span?
right. And I never owned parachute pants. True confession.
I remember those. They were slightly loud, were they not?
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious, how does the music that you write, where does it start? Does it start with a lyric or does it start with an experience? Can you just share, how does that all begin?
Yeah, those things stir in you by an observation. My favorite songwriter psalm is Psalm 45:1.
Okay.
And it says, my heart overflows with a noble theme as I recite my verse for the King. And my tongue is the pen of a ready writer.
Oh, wow.
So that means it's a relief. You don't have to sit and make something up like there's, I got nothing. You're listening. You know, writing is a listening thing first. That something stirs in you, you see something that happens in the world or with your kids, or you sit around a campfire and the sparks fly into the night and you think, well, life's kind of like that. It's just sparks flying into the night.
Yeah, that is true.
And so you learn to paint with word pictures.
Okay.
And so something stirs in you and bubbles up. It could be, recently I was listening to a guy teach and he kept talking about, you know, everything that happens really is for his glory, his glory. Even Psalm 23, all the stuff he does for me leads me by still waters for his name's sake. It's really all for him. Even our salvation is to his glory. So I began to go, boy, I write down, for your glory. There's a song. So I've been working on a song called For Your Glory that happened from this guy's talk.
So you use experiences and scripture and just like you were saying, just focusing on listening to the Lord.
Right.
And I'm intrigued because your experience, your background isn't in songwriting. You went to college to...
Right, I was an English and Bible major, and then I really got pretty hooked on maybe being in education, in an English class, teaching.
Right.
Teaching people, like I ran into some good teachers who help you sort through things. How do you think through things? Thinking critically to sort out the truth from what is not the truth and reality. And so I went to graduate school 2 years with that aim, but the Lord made a left turn to Nashville through some people I went to college with, and all that creative training dovetailed right in with songwriting and writing books and all of that.
So with your songwriting, I know some of our family will want to know who you wrote for.
Right.
Who would be some of the singers that you wrote for?
Well, early on, one of the first cuts, it gets excited. Brown Bannister called me. I'd written a song called "Can You Reach My Friend" that happened from a phone call I got from a friend.
Oh, okay.
And it starts, I got a call from an old friend. Brown called me and said, "Deb, we're going to cut this. Debbie Boone is going to record this." And I went, so that's how that works.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
That is
and that
cool.
song, other people have cut that thing. And then I got together in Nashville, you co-write a lot. So
All
I
right.
got together one day with a writer, wonderful idea guy, Niles Borup, and he had lists of ideas. I'm going, and I see this title, Via Dolorosa. And I said, that's the way of suffering or sorrow, right? Let's write that. So we kicked it off in A minor and wrote this, what we thought was a pretty good song, and played it for the publisher. And the next day it's on hold with Greg Nelson for Sandy Patty. And the next year it wins the Song of the Year. And two Miss Americas have used it in competition and won. And you know, it just went, it was bigger than the sum of its parts.
Oh, yeah.
And then Kathy DeColey and BB and CeCe Winans, and you start mixing it up with people. And the beauty of a song, you know, it goes so far beyond you.
Right.
I don't have to be everywhere for the song to do what it's supposed to do. And then writing with good people is like playing racquetball with good people. You got to get better. And so Wayne Kirkpatrick, I co-wrote a lot with Wayne. He wrote a lot with Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant, and wrote Change the World for Eric Clapton. And so we wrote for Susan Ashton. And so Salvador, all kinds of people. You get these connections, and God multiplies his resources and your connections. But first, I tell young songwriters, you know, you've written 20 songs. Are any of them recorded? Do you have them in your phone? Because if you don't, they can't go beyond you.
Oh, that's really such a good point. That would be a great advice.
Right.
If for people that are watching that are considering themselves as songwriters or even pursuing any kind of music.
If you can't hand it to someone, and now it's so easy, digitally, you can sing it into your phone and play it and send it to your mom.
Yeah, that's
At
true.
least send it to your mom.
That's true. Well, you know, now it seems like God has you going in a new direction too. Not that you're not writing music, you
Right.
still are, but your aim and your focus seems to be on worship.
Yeah, and that's because I transitioned after a lot of years in Nashville. A lot of my buddies transitioned to back under the umbrella of the church with their gifting as worship leaders. And so we prayed in the spring of '05, Kelly and I, you know, Lord, where would you, if we raised a sail, where would you take us? And the Lord connected the dots to a church in Denver. So we spent 8 years there as the every week worship leader. Instead of, thanks for having me, it
Yes.
was, see you next week. and you got to live with me, and I got to live with you, and we get. And so in Colorado, we use a great expression. You know, life is a group hike.
Oh.
Life is a group hike. The Lord meant us to do this in community. So you can bounce around and have fun being a music guy, but you get married, you have kids, and you have
Right.
mortgage, you have, and so living in that community was great. So I've been writing a ton of worship music and collecting it and trying to record it little by little, and finally pulled it together with a Kickstarter funded project with the tribe out there. Thank you if you're listening. Thank you for supporting the not so starving artists. But so a whole project came together, Songs in the Key of Awe, of the best crop of worship songs I've written over the last few years.
And it's a brand new project that you have on. And what's exciting is that you have family that's involved in it too. So share a little bit about your family.
Well, it's such a God thing because my children, it turns out, are musical, and you might expect that.
I would.
From the gene pool.
That's
I'm not
right.
a great engineer or mathematician. But really Willow sings too on the new project, and I really, her gifting is beyond the depth of my gene pool.
Oh, really? Oh,
At
that's
17, she is so much better singer, her pitch, her fearlessness on the mic in the studio. So she sings too. She sings harmony all over it. Wyatt plays djembe and drums, and so we get to lead worship together
Oh, that's
on weekends,
wonderful.
and so it's just kind of not quite the Von Trapp family.
Well, it's there. And you have a son too,
Right.
another son.
Yeah, Sawyer
is.
he's 9, and he's a boogie dancer. He's got all these moves, and he's a soccer player, and he's just started he wants to play piano.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like it's a wonderful project that's coming up, and it's a time not only to enjoy it, but to come into worship as well.
Right, I've designed it so that it's a worship experience. There's even 2 short instrumentals that just give you a breathing room, just for a little bit in the presence of the Lord without words coming at you, to just soak for a little bit. Because A.W. Tozer, who wrote a lot of stuff, in The Knowledge of the Holy, he said in 1961, we've lost our capacity for the awe of God and the majesty, to draw near Him in adoring silence.
Wow.
Just to sit and be in His presence like a good friend, and not have to say anything.
That's right. That's
Just sense His presence. So we've designed the flow of the songs to celebrate, to confess, to meditate, to soak, and to corporate songs and personal songs in songs in the key of awe.
I like that. We'll be sure to get that. So it's called Songs in the Key of Awe.
Right.
Thank you so much, Billy.
Thank
I've
you.
enjoyed meeting with you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Down the Via Dolorosa in Jerusalem that day, the soldiers tried to clear the narrow street, but the crowd pressed in to see the man condemned to die on Calvary. He was bleeding from a beating there were stripes upon his back, and he wore a crown of thorns upon his head, and he bore with every step the scorn of those who cried out for his death. Down the Via Dolorosa, cold the way of suffering, like a lamb came the Messiah, Christ our King. But he chose to walk that road out of his love for you and me. Down the Via Dolorosa, all the way to Calvary. The blood that would cleanse the souls of all men made his way through the heart of Jerusalem. Down the Via Dolorosa, cold the way of suffering, like a lamb came the Messiah, Christ our King. But he chose to walk that road out of his love for you and me. Down the Via Dolorosa, all the way to Calvary. Down the Via Dolorosa, all the way to Calvary. Down the Via Dolorosa, all the way for you and me.
This is called Friend of a Heart Like Mine.
King of the lost and found, heavenly hope come down, sovereign eternally, unequaled in majesty, King of the lost and found. Great is your name, great are your ways, Son of the Most High.
Thanks so much for watching More Than a Song. Contact us at family@ctvn.org or call us for prayer. Until next week, keep looking for the message behind the music and listen for the new song he's singing over you. I'm Denise Graves, and I'll see you next week.
That's what you are, friend of a heart like mine. You are the great